But either way, this is not conducive to them winning football games or winning a championship, more importantly.
He's not the guy that you fell in love with.
He's not the guy I fell in love with. He's changed. He's changed. I don't know who you are anymore. Oh, yeah, that's right. We'll get to that guy, my long-lost love, my Mr. used to throw aggressive lasers all over the football field. Yes, Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. We'll get to that. He's no longer my top love in my life. He's not.
You've fallen out of love.
I've fallen out of love, and I've hoarded myself to other people. Sorry.
And it's one of those where you go, usually you say, it's not you, it's me.
Right.
No, it's you.
No, it's you. It's you. There's better options out there. You're not that good, and there's better options out there. Sorry. What's up, everybody? It's Chris Simms Unbuttoned. Ahmed Fareed is here on a Monday, misty, rainy day here in the Northeast. He's wearing his lobster reds today. Mm-hmm. He's ready for ball.
Lobster reds. He's like Buccaneers over here. It's almost a pewter sweatshirt. He's got his energy drink. He's ready to go.
I am ready.
He is. He's very witty and sarcastic so far early this morning. So I could tell he's got a little extra energy. I could tell he didn't stay up late and wasn't on the Peacock show last night. So he's fresh. He's feeling good.
I can usually come in here barely able to talk after that Peacock show, so I'll be able to talk a little bit better. Still not 100%.
Right.
No, it was another crazy day. It was one of those days where it's like it's been such a weird year that you're just waiting every week. And I listened to you and Mike talk about it on the Picks Pod on Thursday. It's like, all right, week 7 seems as good a time as any for everything to kind of start to make sense again. And I would say, from my vantage point, sitting at home watching these games, it still doesn't make sense.
No,
a lot of it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Still.
Well, maybe it's the fact that it doesn't make sense, or those things that are maybe those are the new realities we just got to get used to. I think that's where we're starting to get to, where we go, hey, you got to get away of your bias, your preconceived notions about what teams should be during the year, and now just kind of evaluate it for what it is. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. Between that, hey, a few bounces to the ball, the craziness of going for it on fourth downs as usual, it is leading to some crazy football. But I think some of these teams that we keep going, well, this is crazy, they lost like this. This is crazy, they lost like this. I think we need to come to the realization that maybe this is who it is. And I'm not saying I'm any better. I mean, I'm a guy here that I think the Bucs will straighten it out this week, and that Panthers offense sucks and they'll win an ugly game. I thought they'd win like a 20-6, 20-10 type of football game. What? Get dominated 21-3? I mean, it's just the league is crazy, and I think some of us misevaluated teams and where they're at going into this year.
So our promise to the homies, you listening at home or in your car or wherever that may be, is we're going to talk about every game from Sunday. We got damn okay.
Yeah.
We give damn okay to players that surprised us or impressed us and stood out. We have Give Me the Headlines, which Chris participated in today.
I did. Thank you very much for giving me that honor.
He helped, yeah. Pete and I had some thoughts.
Yeah.
Chris improved them.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Well done. And then we'll talk about Monday Night Football, the last game, some props out there, Patriots and Bears. So a lot to get to. Every game will start with the game of the day. It was one of the late games. It was your Kansas City Chiefs. Your love has faded from Aaron Rodgers, and it is now squarely on the shoulders of Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen.
It is, yep.
The Chiefs' offense was awesome in this one against a 49ers defense that's still a little banged up.
Yes,
got
it is.
some injuries there, Kinlaw, Eric Armstead, but had Bosa back.
Right.
On the offensive side, had Trent Williams back, so not as banged up as they had been, and it was still a blowout here.
Yes,
Chiefs won 44-23. Let's just take a look at take a look at the 49ers defense here. Let's take a look at the graphic here, because I think this kind of tells the story. It's the 49ers defense, injuries and all, had been very good the first 6 weeks of the season. 14 points allowed. They gave up 44 against the Chiefs. It was more than double the yards. 529 yards allowed against the Chiefs. They were averaging 255 allowed. I mean, just every number around the offense for the Chiefs
blown
was
away,
up significantly over what the 49ers have given up in the past. So was this a case of alarm bells going off for the 49ers, like, what's going on here? Or is the Chiefs, is it just that good of an offense right now that it doesn't matter who they play against?
I think that's where we got to get to a little bit. But I think the big thing is you have to be a special defense, and you got to be somewhat at full strength to think you're going to slow down or make things life hard on them, right? That's for sure. And then, of course, you caught them on a week where they lost the game, where they probably feel like they should have won in Buffalo. So you caught them. You caught the Chiefs and, oh, shit, we're going to fall to 4-3 if we lose this, game. So you caught them in that mode. And I think that, Ahmed, you're saying it right. I think we're getting to a point here. I don't really know if it matters what defense comes to town. It's like 85 Bears are here. I'm still going to say they flirt with 25, 28, 300 yards passing. It just doesn't matter. And that's where I get into I feel like they have more to defend this year than ever before. All right? One, you've heard me say from the start of the year, I think that them not having Tyreek Hill is actually going to be a benefit for their football team. I don't know if I'm totally right on that yet, but so far it looks pretty good. And I don't mean that when I say that to be disrespectful to Tyreek Hill. I think he's amazing. I just think this is one team where big plays are not a problem, right? They got enough weapons, and they got a quarterback that, like Josh Allen, they're always looking for the big play. So they don't have to have the extra pressure of wait, I got a guy that runs 4-2 and we lined him up and we got him on the deep route, so I got to throw the ball deep to him every time. Every time we call that play, I got to throw it. And that's where I felt like he was a little bit caught in that matrix the last 2 years. Now it's like, let the offense work for me. I got plenty of guys to throw the ball to, and I think they're giving you more to defend on the offensive side of the ball. They're running the ball just a little bit more. There's a few more tricks and reverses and speed sweeps. They're a better screen team this year. So I think with all that, and we've talked about their offensive line, I think is still one of the better pass protecting lines in all of football. I think all that leads to, hey, 49ers, your defense is still really good, and I'm not panicked. But you can't you got to be full strength to mess with that team. And then to me, that's a huge deal. They need Kinlaw. They need Armstead. They need those type of guys to get them off the field on a third down, or some of these first and second down games where it's just not like, they got 10 yards on second down. That to me is the big thing, Ahmed. I think you kind of hit it. It's just a special team and offense we're watching here.
And we're seeing the weapons emerge, kind of, for them, too. It was interesting in the backfield. Pacheco got the start, I think, over Clyde Edwards-Helaire, although they both played quite a bit in this game. Didn't run a whole lot, didn't need to run a whole lot.
They just keep you honest with it, right? Yeah. I mean, right? I mean, you watch them. It's just like they don't let you just go total pass defense all the time. Once they start to go, wait, all right, you're going to pass rush us like this, and you're going to leave the guard uncovered here, right? Like our old guard bubble play. They're like, okay, fine. Geez, if you're going to just basically let us block it perfectly how we want to, we'll hand it off. And that's where they're good. And then, of course, with their wrinkles and all of that, too. And then you're saying it, right? There's weapons emerging because they're all like, man, the offense is fun, and he's spreading the ball around, and we're all going to get to touch it. And when's it going to be my turn? And I think that's just kind of infectious with their team right now, and that's where – they're fun to watch. They're in another level of the Niners right now. They are. The Chiefs, the Bills, and the Eagles are on another level from the rest of football.
It's hard to say anyone is all that close to them. Right? I don't even know who that would be necessarily.
I think you're right.
Because we said it last week. This isn't like because the Eagles were off.
Right. The Cowboys, I think, are with Dak, and if that pass game gets going, maybe the team that I'd go, they're on the verge or they're on the outer brinks of those three teams, maybe to a degree. I think they have the potential for that. Yeah, but like the Giants at 6-1 and Minnesota at 5-1, I don't put them in that class. I'm sorry. I love those teams. But yes, I think that you said it right. I think they're a little bit of a class of their own right now, those three football teams.
There was one of the homies that tweeted both of us yesterday during the game. They go, I got the headline for this. I wish I had his name. I don't have it with me. But this is not a give me the headline game. It was later on.
Right.
But he goes, Debo Hardman, right, for Mecole Hardman. Right. It was like very similar. They were using him as a guy, end-around guy. He had a couple rushing touchdowns. He had a receiving touchdown. He is the first wide receiver in the Super Bowl era with those statistics, 2 or more rushing touchdowns and receiving touchdown in a single game. We thought maybe he could emerge as the speed guy with Tyreek out of there. I don't know if this is going to be an every game thing, but that's your point. It doesn't need to be an every game thing. It just needs to be once every 4 games. Well, there's Mecole.
Oh, there he is. Oh, we got to worry about that. Yeah. We got to prepare for that, right? I mean, yes. I think you're. You don't want to. What's funny is when we were in the pregame show getting ready to Garrett and Jason Garrett and Tony Dungy, I said to them a few times, I said, this is funny. I was like, I feel like the Chiefs are kind of doing what like the 49ers do to teams, right? Where. And it's right to our question here from the guy that you so rudely forgot about and don't know his name now that tagged us on Twitter.
Oh, I got it.
You got it?
Pete just got it for us.
Yeah.
Michael. 3 eyes.
Michael.
Yeah,
3 eyes. Michael. But
Thanks.
Michael, I do think he's right. I think I look at, the runs that you're talking about, the speed sweeps, the reverses, some of the screens, some of the short yardage situations. Forget trying to run it up the middle. Like, that was the thing I liked about them yesterday. They had a few times where it was like 2nd and 1 or 3rd and 1, and they were like, wait, they got everybody at the line of scrimmage. We got Patrick Mahomes. Let's just throw a 20-yard play. Like, it's wide open down there. They're trying to stop the 1-yard gain, and, it's 3rd and 20. Let's throw a screen underneath to Pacheco. Or it was McKinnon. Ran for a touchdown. So I did kind of have that same thought as our listener there. But, yeah, the Chiefs, between that, I still worry about the Chiefs' defense a little bit. As you saw yesterday, I do think the 49ers, if the game didn't start becoming a kind of a shootout, they might have been able to run the ball on the Chiefs a little bit. That's scary. But the Chiefs always make plays. That's the one thing about their defense. They're opportunistic, and it's like, okay, you've moved the ball, you scored points, but now it's like it's time to go, and it's, Chris Jones made a play. Frank Clark got a sack. This guy got an interception, pick 6 against Justin Herbert, is where backs are against the wall, right? They're just that kind of team, and that's where they're a lot of fun to watch, and like you said, they're one of the best.
Yeah, defensively, Chris Jones did stand out for the Chiefs in this one at times. Strozinski Lucas says Chris Jones had another 2 sacks yesterday, also forced a Jimmy G fumble. I know I'm a Chiefs fan, but he would be my defensive player of the year through 7 weeks.
He's up there. He is. I mean, you think about every game we've watched this year with the Chiefs. He makes monster plays. He is, without question, playing all-pro football. And, yeah, he might be one of those guys, because I'm trying to think right now, like, defensively, is there any guy that's like we're going, whoa, that's the defense? Micah Parsons, of course, is in that conversation.
Zadarius Smith.
Yeah, I mean, I know Nick Bosa is having still a damn good year, even with, being out a number of games. But I can get behind that, I think, at this point of the year. Chris Jones is way better than his 5 sacks on the year, and his disruption and the play-up stats are way up there.
Yep. We can't move on from this game without talking about the huge move that the 49ers made.
Yeah, let's do it.
It was what day was that? Was that the weekend?
That was
Friday.
That was Friday.
Was
right?
it Friday?
Thursday night, right,
into Friday.
Right. It was at the end of the Thursday night game where Al Michaels came on.
That's right.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey is now a 49er. For this year, a few years to come, we would think, because he signed for that. They had to give up a lot. Few draft picks, 2nd rounder, 3rd rounder, 4th rounder, I believe, maybe a 5th rounder next year. I think that was the total package. He had 10 touches. He had 62 yards on 22 snaps. Just being introduced to this offense, so you figure it's got to get better from here. How much does he change this 49ers team?
I think it's going to be a huge boost to their team, their offense, everything. I think what it does to me is it allows Shanahan to do what he wants to do more and not have to rely on Jimmy Garoppolo to go, hey, we got to drop back and throw it 45 times here for us to win this game this week. I think it just gives him more leeway, latitude, however you want to say it, to, embolden, enhance the tricks within his offense. That's how I kind of look at it. First off, McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel are not that dissimilar. They're very similar people. I mean, they're built not that differently. Mm-hmm. And, like, Christian McCaffrey, first off, his dad was an NFL wide receiver, played for Kyle Shanahan's father in Denver, if people didn't know that. But he can run routes like a high-level NFL wide receiver. And then, of course, we know he can run the football. So I just think they're going to stress you out with, what my spiels I always give. Fake to McCaffrey, screen to Deebo. Fake to Deebo, screen to McCaffrey. Fake the reverse to Deebo, toss it to McCaffrey. Fake the reverse to McCaffrey, toss it to Deebo. Fake the toss to McCaffrey, fake the reverse to Deebo, inside screen to Kittle. Fake the screen, fake the toss, fake the reverse, it's play action. There goes Ayuk down the middle. You know what I'm saying. Yeah. Everybody gets the point. Yeah. All right? Yeah, get the point. But I do think they're interchangeable almost.
Yep.
Where, you're going to be like, okay, Debo's a tailback. Oh, wait, they got Christian McCaffrey playing flanker here. Oh, he's coming in motion. Oh, they did run the ball. Oh, they ran play action pass, and he ran a route. Mm-hmm. Oh, he got the speed sweep around the edge, and they faked it to Deebo. I mean, so you know what I'm saying there. And I think that's where it's going to be really good.
They still the favorite for you out west?
They are. I'm not going away from that. That game was, it got away from them a little bit yesterday. But there were still points in the football game. I mean, again, it was 28-13 with 28-23 with 14 minutes left in the football game.
It was 10-0 49ers right off the bat.
Exactly right. So I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, whoa, I'm so panicked by what I saw there. Yeah. Their defense will play better. If they get to play them again, they'll have better feel for them. They'll be healthier. I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if we saw this in the Super Bowl. I believe this is what I made my Super Bowl matchup anyways.
You're hoping. It could be the one pick you get right this year if this actually happens in the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes, when he is down 10, he does not panic. 13-9 now in his career when trailing by 10 or more points at any point in a game. So when they're down double digits, you go, oh, more times than not, Patrick Mahomes is going to win. That's crazy. Amazing. That's an insane stat. It's a good team around him, but that's insane.
It shows you his focus, what he's capable of, what they're capable of. And I honestly think it just shows you that he's fearless. That's the thing I love about Patrick Mahomes. It's just he's rare in the fact that he can make mistakes or throw interceptions and still play the same game. You know what I mean?
Yep.
A lot of guys like throw an interception that early. Oh, no, okay, all right. They play conservative. Okay, hey, we're back in the game. Okay, finally now I can maybe take some chances again. But it's like you don't even know he throws an interception early in the game. You forget about it. You just go, whoa, here he goes. Here goes Mahomes. Whoa, what a throw. What a play. Whoa. I mean, that's where he is amazing. And, like we said, you said the Bills, the Chiefs, the Eagles in another class. As I've been saying all year and you joined in with me, Mahomes and Josh Allen to me are in another class from the rest of football as well at the quarterback position right now.
The young guns, old guns take a step back, which moves us on to our Get Wrong games part of the podcast here, because I was listening on Thursday again, and Mike Florio made these the Get Right games.
Yeah.
He thought, it's time for the Bucs to get right. Time for the Packers to get right. They did not. So we'll start with the Buccaneers, 21-3. They go down to the Panthers. Mr. Sunshine 813 says, Brady, only 3 points, WTF.
Yeah.
Chris, WTF.
WTF.
What the heck happened?
What? Ooh, okay. That's WTH. Okay. I think everything that we've been saying still holds very true in this football game. First off, the Panthers have a better defense than what people think statistically, right? We've talked about this a little bit. There's a lot of talent there. There is. And, they've had a shit offense. So, anytime you see a defense that's, got some talent, but why do their statistics not match up? Well, when the offense can't stay on the field, sustain any drives, do anything like that, they just get worn down. But they were in a game yesterday where, their defense honestly looked like in another class compared to the Bucs offense. It really did. I mean, the speed of the Panthers on that side of the ball, to me, was remarkably different than what the speed of the Buccaneers were on the offensive side of the ball. It's the second week in a row. I think we could say Brady is jittery, right? He is not comfortable, and nothing's coming easy for their offense. And then he's just not the type of guy that's going to be like, hey, get on my back and I'll make it happen. So and then especially not at 45. And then, again, I think you just couple that with they can't run the ball, and now they have to throw with him. And I don't think they have great speed on the offensive side of the ball, as you've heard me say the last few weeks. So Carolina was capable of matching up and playing some man-to-man and changing things up that way, and made life hard on them. I mean, I was shocked. I thought we would see Brady and company be a little more surgical yesterday. And, it wouldn't be, great, but I'd go, oh, okay, they put together 3 or 4 good drives, and that was way to go. And then I think what's shocking on top of that is that just the dam broke. What was it, late second, third quarter in the run game, the run defense? Just not just oh, wow, they got lucky and broke that run. Holy shit, look at the size of that hole in the Buccaneers defense.
That might have been even more surprising than
I think it was the shocker of the day.
That's a good call.
Right.
3 points, no one would have thought that. But the fact that Foreman jumps right in for Christian McCaffrey and goes for 118 yards. Hubbard is there, too, 63 yards.
It's crazy.
Long touchdown.
Right.
That was surprising. And P.J. Walker, full credit to him, made some of the prettiest touchdowns of the day, right? You see those throws he made. I didn't see all of his throws, but he was 16-22, 177 yards. But
he's got some talent.
It looked good. We have his passing chart from the last 2 weeks here. So on the left is last week, and his average depth of target last week is, as you might be able to guess by looking at it, was actually negative. It was a negative average depth of target, everything behind the line of scrimmage. He had many of those again this past week, but a couple deep shots down the field, and those 2 touchdowns included in that.
Yeah.
They made the couple of big plays that you figured the Bucs would make.
That's right. Game. You wonder, like, if Evans catches the ball to start the game on the first drive, is the game a little different? Does it give them some momentum? I don't know. It certainly kind of puts a damper on your day a little bit. And, like, for a minute, you just got to go, damn, man, we just missed a chance to have an easy 7 and get things going. But Walker, he moves well, and he controls the ball. And we'll see. If he gets a chance to play here, I wouldn't be shocked if he impresses them to the point where they're like, Baker, take a few more weeks. Sam, it's okay. Those guys aren't that more physically gifted than P.J. Walker. So I understand that. And I think Steve Wilkes even gave a comment after the game, like, he continues to play like this, he might be the guy. We're not just going to bench him. So we'll see where it goes. But that was the shocker of shockers. And it's to the point now where I think it's official, where you heard me say the last few weeks, like, I'm worried, but I still think they're a pretty good team. They're still, like, it's now to, yeah, okay, they're a solid team. They're solid, maybe. I mean, they're on the verge for me of, like, you just go, I don't know, actually. Can they get to the playoffs? Can they do this? The NFC South, of course, is so not good.
I know.
That it almost gives them a free pass to a degree here. But at the same time, there's major concerns. And I think Buccaneers, at the very least right now, just go, there's no way they're winning the Super Bowl. I feel like I'm getting to the time of the year, maybe we do that on Wednesday, where there's teams where I just go, yeah, their record's good, blah, 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 whatever. But there's only a certain amount of teams I look at that can go, they can go to the Super Bowl and win it maybe. And the Bucs right now are certainly not that.
At this point, if they scored in the upper 20s offensively, that'd be a surprise now. It would. I think if it happened a couple weeks ago, or even this week, be like, all right, now they're getting things going. If it happens moving forward, that's like, wow, that stands out. That stands out because we don't know that offense is capable.
I don't know if
it
is capable either.
Mike Evans on that drop had 10.9 yards of separation. That is the most separation on a drop this season. There was not a defender within 10 yards of him. Who knows what would have happened there. But the fact remains that they had one red zone appearance in this game.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like they were getting down there and not
it wasn't
converting.
like you're messing it up. Exactly right.
Like they weren't getting down there.
No,
like
they
nothing
were
was working.
No.
It's crazy. It's a mystery. It's kind of cool to see, honestly, just because it's interesting. Sorry, Bucs fans out there, but who would have ever thought? CJ Easterday says, damn okay to Steve Wilkes. Panthers have looked much better ever since he has taken over. Chris, do you think Wilkes deserves a chance at the head coach job this offseason?
Listen, Steve Wilkes got a raw deal when he was in Arizona. I mean, plain and simple. They did not really support him with a team that really gave him a chance to actually say, oh, okay, yeah, wait, you should have succeeded and you failed, and now we should fire you. It's like they gave him nothing, and then Cliff Kingsbury got there, and they kind of went on a spending spree, and they're like, hey, look, now you coach a team, and we gave you a bunch of better players. So he got a raw deal there, for sure. I'm not opposed to that. I'm not. I mean, again, I think he's always been one of the better defensive minds in all of football, and he has made an improvement. I mean, again, even with their ugly offense last week, they hung in there with the Rams because of their defense. So, but I think he's going to have to put a few more, not just for me, for his owner, for the fan base, got to put together maybe a few more performances like this, where the defense is the star of the show. And we go, whoa, this they got something going with this system and these players and the way he's coaching, to where we all open our eyes and go, well, are you sure you want to let him go? Your defense is playing, high-level football. If he gets a few more like this, then I think he's legitimately going to throw his name into the pile of, I could be the guy next year.
Yeah, and if not there, somewhere else.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No doubt.
You could put if Carolina does not lock him up, some other team will look at him and be like, that was pretty good ever since he was there and fired everyone. It was kind of crazy how it all started like that, but
yes.
Rams was not that easy of a victory for them. So
no,
this
it was
is
not.
2 weeks in a row where it's
right.
been difficult for teams that on
right.
paper are better than the Carolina Panthers. So well done, Carolina Panthers. Well done, Washington Commanders, against your former crush and love, Aaron Rodgers. At this, do you have to text him and break up with him? How do you do it? What do you have to do at this point to signify that relationship is over?
I don't know. He's probably, if he's watching enough TV or seeing Sunday Night Football, he's probably already realized it. He got the hints that, well, this guy's moved on to Mahomes and Allen. I'm no longer his favorite anymore.
Commanders won 23-21. Rodgers had 47 passing yards in the first half. He didn't go over 100 yards until the fourth quarter. In fact, and I saw this on NFL.com's research. Devondre Campbell, his 63-yard pick six, was longer than all of the Packers' receiving production in the first half. They were 0 for 6 on a third down. Let's look at the passing chart so Chris can really get wound up once again on what Aaron Rodgers has not done this year. And as Pete says in my ear, this looks familiar. We've seen this before. Everything right around the line of scrimmage. Looks like we have a couple deep chucks, 35 yards, 40 yards down the field. They were incomplete. One complete above 20 yards there.
Right. That was you got that. And then the great touchdown throw he had to Aaron Jones on the left sideline. That was the best throw of the day.
When I saw that, he got flushed out of the pocket.
And you were like, that's old Aaron Rodgers right
Turned
there.
his hips, his shoulders, found Aaron Jones. I was like, that's the guy that Chris fell in love with.
Exactly right.
Can he win you back? Can he ever win you back with another performance like this?
No, they're not going to win me back. I mean, that's not happening. They're not going to win anybody back. Again, this is it's just so hard to watch them. They're not fun to watch. I don't really understand the process at times, and like we just talked about Brady with Rodgers, it's just there's unnecessary jumpiness in the pocket where you just go settle your feet and throw the ball. You're Tom Brady. You're Aaron Rodgers. And there was a number of those yesterday again. He had a play where you saw Romeo Doubs drop the third down throw, right?
Yep.
We showed it on Sunday Night Football a little bit.
I like that. That was a good tape, yeah.
Well, again, that's Pete's doing the tapes. And I'm going, Pete, look at this play. Let's watch this play, right? And I knew the coaches were going to talk about it a little bit. But, there we are. Protection was perfect. That was a game plan play. Why did we not let Sammy Watkins have a chance to maybe make a play down the field, who was wide open,
he was,
right?
Yep.
He was wide open. And then to add that, you go, okay, Dobbs is open. There we go. But why are you, fading away and jumping like the 85 Bears are bearing down your neck, and you're like, oh, no, I don't have any more time. And then you throw the ball low and then yell at the sideline and LaFleur and go, what the are we doing? I don't know. What the are you doing?
Yeah.
I as much as he's my ex-love in life and everything, you don't get a free pass. I'm not going to give anybody a free pass. So it's that.
I think that play
signifies it all.
You guys did a good job. Yeah. Pete, well done on the tape, and good job by you identifying that, and Coach did a good job at halftime again showing it, because he declines to go deep when it was open.
Yes.
He goes short, and even there makes a bad pass.
Right. Or the last play of the game when they had the 4th and short and he throws the ball in the flat. I mean, the Commanders were basically like, they're going to throw in the flat. I don't even need to cover my guy. They left the guy uncovered, and he's already made his decision. Again, where you just go, come on, you're too good. Read it out. You've already run this play a few times, too. You don't think they're going to maybe recognize it, nor the fact that they saw it on film 700 times during the week, because it's every other pass is like that. So, yeah, that's where – I just don't get it. And again, like I said, too, with even describing the passing chart, throwing just a random go route down the sideline does not make you an aggressive team, even if you complete it every now and then. It just that's not what it is. Oh, wait. Again, you've heard me say this over and over. The good offenses are naturally aggressive. Every play is aggressive. And then Mahomes goes, all right, I didn't have the 40-yard bomb. Here, Kelsey, underneath for 7, and he ran for 10 yards after the play. Oh, damn, I didn't have Diggs deep. Oh, here Dawson Knox underneath, 15 yards later, boom. But they're doing it the other way around, and that's just not going to get it done. And then, their defense dropped some opportunities, Ahmed. I know they had the pick 6. They probably could have caught another 2 or 3 interceptions at least. Probably another 2 pick 6s, honestly. And they need that right now. Their defense has got to kind of carry them and make these type of plays. They didn't capitalize on that, and then it became Heineke time.
Yes. There was a fumble return for a touchdown that was called back to because of a penalty.
Yes.
But you're right. I love Taylor Heineke. And maybe that's the idea. Don't start him in the first half. He was 2 for 9 for 21 yards. He's not a first-half quarterback. I love him because he is the quarterback. This is what I say. He's the quarterback you want in a game. As you take a look at his numbers there, first half, second half. Yeah, second half he was 13 of 16 for 162 yards.
Baller.
He's a second-half quarterback.
He is.
If there's a game that's ugly,
right,
and kind of like both teams are having a hard time with it, I'll take Taylor Heineke. It just seems like his elusiveness, right? He did some things that Carson Wentz can't do.
No doubt about it.
Getting out of some of those pressures.
He can move around better that way, right?
I don't know. He just makes play, and Terry McLaurin, him individually seems like he likes playing for Taylor Heineke. He made some awesome catches out there.
He did.
He was great. But there's just some weird magic that goes on when he plays late in games.
I hear you. When the game becomes kind of like, backyardish and the pass rush is a little tired and, defenses, okay, wait, I've seen this a few times now and this blitz and all that. There's something there. I don't disagree with you. He's a gamer. He's a real gamer. He is. I mean, his physical talent is never going to jump off the screen. He's never going to be the guy that they go, wait, we got our future. He's going to play good here the next few weeks, and they're going to go, well, should we replace him with Carson Wentz anyways? And unfortunately that is who he is at this point of his career. But that was an unbelievable second half performance by him. It is. It's just gritty. And like you said, makes a few plays with his leg, gets out of trouble. Things that don't go on the stat sheet where you just throw the ball away and you go, oh, okay, good job there. That would have been a sack, loss of 7. But, yeah, overall. And then, I think the other thing, too, is this is how Green Bay struggling, too, is like Washington ran the ball on you. Washington can't run the ball on anybody. Like anybody. Like, so that's just, I don't, what the going on with Green Bay? I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, not only, yes, Rodgers, the short passing offense is a disgrace. It's just the defense itself. I'm just a little shocked that it has not been more dominating. That might be the thing that's more shocking than anything. We knew Green Bay was kind of like on offense. We were calling it at the end of last year. Yeah. They need to be a little more aggressive and do that stuff. Did I think it would go to this extent? No. But I for sure thought their defense was going to be, one of the top defenses in football and tough to handle no matter who played against them.
Yeah, and Terry McLaurin's awesome, and Curtis Samuel is awesome.
He is.
But they were without Jahan Dotson, Logan Thomas, De'Ami Brown did not even play. That's pretty.
I know.
I mean, man, when I was looking at that, I was like, Commanders actually have some sneaky
they have
good
talent.
Good talent.
They do.
Wide receiver, running back with Robinson and Gibson. They got some sneaky good talent.
It's the offensive line that's really been holding them back.
Yeah.
And if they can do what they did yesterday,
wouldn't be surprised if they win a few more games.
I wouldn't be surprised either. There's the defense, as we've talked about, and I made fun of Del Rio early in the year, and they're, like I told you, they're close. I said that I think last week.
Yeah.
It's close. There was when I went back and really started to study them before their Thursday night game a few weeks ago against the Bears, I was kind of like, hey, let me sit down and really watch the Commanders from start to finish of the season here. And I kept going, man, all right, there's a little more talent than I thought. Ooh, they actually played pretty good in this game. They just had this one mistake or this one play. And so there was some silver lining to what you were seeing, right? And I think we're seeing it maybe come together here for them.
Yeah, maybe the defense can play, 3 yards in a cloud of dust up.
You.
We move on now to the best division in all of football.
Ooh.
The NFC Beast.
The Beast of the East.
I mean, that sums up how crazy this year has been, right? And how upside down the season is. It's been the division that has been at the bottom. I think they've been at the bottom, right? Don't we think that they've been at pound for pound, it's been the worst division in football.
I don't think there's any doubt about that.
We've got a division winner than everyone else.
Washington got in the playoffs and was a 4 seed a few years ago at 7-9, right? Am I wrong with that? I mean, 2 years ago when they almost beat the Bucs in the wild card game, they were 7-9 with Taylor
Heineke,
right?
Magic man. But they are 17-3 this year, with 2 of those 3 losses coming against each other. So they couldn't win those games. And so they basically are beating everyone else out there. And the Giants did it again against the Jaguars. This was a tough one for you because you love the Jaguars and you think that they're better than everyone else, which I think they are. But then you got the Giants, and the Giants were able to come through in this one. I don't want to really start here, but I know it'll get you going.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, so this is I'm glad you're going to go here to start this.
This is the difference between these two teams, maybe. Yes?
Go ahead, and what were you going to say?
No, you go.
Well,
you're already getting riled up. Go.
Well, you know I'm going to the 4th and 1.
Yep. Jacksonville had a chance to go up by a touchdown. It was early fourth quarter.
17-13.
It was not even 4th and 1, though. I will say it was like 4th and 3 inches.
Yeah, it was probably about a half. Maybe a foot. Maybe somewhere in there.
They had no reason not to get that.
Right.
I mean, they had no excuses there. But I knew as soon as that play happened and they were stuffed, I was like, oh, Chris is steamed.
Well, they've been burned a few times already this year by 4th down, missed attempts where they didn't get it. And I want to go, that probably cost you the game, or that certainly made the game tougher for you. Here you are. It's the Giants. You got a chance to go up by 7 points. All right? you've been moving the ball really well all day. I know the Giants have been moving the ball too, but, again, play the long play. Just go, hey, we're talented. In fact, maybe we're more talented than the Giants. And, of course, they go for it. And when they line up in the formation, I know it's the quarterback sneak, and everybody thinks, oh, you should make the quarterback. No, the quarterback sneak's not guaranteed, first off. And then the Giants, as we saw, and as you know, too, and we've talked about this a lot, the Giants have big people. They got some defensive tackles, and they got in a formation where I went, there's like 1,200 pounds between the guards here. It's not that simple to go, I'm going to say set hut, and my 3 guys are going to move those 4 guys, and we're going to do what we want to do. And they got no push. He lost yards, right? Yeah. I mean, he got the snap, and the guy got pushed back into him, and he lost yards. So, but my point that I wanted to get to is it's the best division in football, but I would just go, it's really not. It's just, to me, the best managed division in football. You got 3 teams. The Eagles, okay, say what you want about them. We know they're talented. Maybe we don't throw them into this. But the Cowboys, for the most part, the Giants, they're in that school of all right, we're going to play defense. We're going to protect the football. Our defense will make one play and you'll make a mistake, and we're going to kind of capitalize off of that. And look what they're doing. They're playing every game like that, both of those teams, and they win. And then we have other teams who – have a similar style of play, but go for it on every 4th down, and everything's aggressive, and they're sitting there and going, well, why are we 2-5? Why are we 2-4? And I want to go, because you don't do some of these things that the Giants do on a weekly basis or the Cowboys. They're kind of playing it close to the vest that way. And maybe that will show the league something here, because it seems like the aggressive teams that are on the fence as far as how good they are, it seems to bite them in the ass more than help them out.
It does this year, and I always side on the more aggressive. I'm different than you in that. I usually think more times than not, being a little more aggressive in some of those situations probably does help your win probability. But I do think you make a good point. In a season when scoring is down and offense is down, that probably flips the percentages a little bit here.
I would
think
so.
Maybe taking the points more times than not actually helps. And you make a good point. Those 3 teams manage the game well, oftentimes do take those points. And the Giants had just enough, although it almost wasn't that way, because the Jaguars drove on the final drive and almost threw it in. There were some questionable calls on the Giants, though, on that last drive. I think we should put in there. There was a roughing the passer on Trevor Lawrence, maybe one that you would call nothing the passer.
What? I mean, illegal what? Was that the one with the grabbing the jersey?
I think that was earlier in the game.
Early. You're talking about the one Lawrence kind of fell on him, right?
Yeah.
There was a little more. Leonard Williams. I keep saying it was Lawrence, right? Leonard Williams, which, I didn't – that's horrible. But I understand they're going to call that this day and age. At least it's not like – I kissed you on the cheek and we threw a penalty, or I grabbed your collar of your.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one with Trevor Lawrence was embarrassing.
It was bad.
It was embarrassing.
It was like one finger on a jersey that pulled him down.
Exactly right. And we called roughing the passer.
It did look like Kayvon Thibodeau got held a couple times late in the game. It was almost obvious, like an armbar over his neck. And I'm like, he's getting held. They didn't call those.
They're not calling that much this year throughout the league. I've complained about it on PFT, just going, it's one of the things, again, where I go, how many things are we going to sway in the favor of the offense? They're allowed to pick receiver DBs downfield. Yeah. They're allowed to RPO block 5 yards downfield. Now we're allowed to hold in the passing game. It's and then of course with the penalties and pass interference and roughing the passer, it frustrates me.
Well, they need more. They need more because offenses are still bad, even with that help. But it didn't matter because Fabian Moreau made the tackle at the 1-yard line. His first year with the Giants, he is now a Giants legend. That was pretty cool to see.
It was.
What an amazing finish. And to stop them, they were playing at the goal line there. Like you can come right up to here, right up to this line, no further.
Yeah.
And Fabian Moreau made sure that stood.
The right defensive alignment. Again, just the Giants doing things always the right way in situational football. That's where, they put pressure on you because they just don't mess up. So you go you better play awesome and really kind of kick our ass and put this game out, because we're just going to, as we talk about, hanging around.
Yeah.
It's I feel like it's like Matt Damon in Rounders, where he just hangs around and he's got the guy's got the Russian accent talking about it. But yeah, that's where, they line up in a picket fence defense and go, okay, well, there's not a lot of room behind us. We're going to try to keep everything in front of us to a degree and come up and make the tackle. And Moreau, who's a good tackling corner, and actually he's had a better career than people realize. He was played for Washington, played for Atlanta, I believe, for a year.
Last year.
Right, before coming to the Giants. And, he's doing a good job for them. Overall, the Giants are just – here's the thing that I think people don't realize with the Giants. Or there's two things here.
Well, maybe you too, because you did pick against them, bud. Go on.
I know. Well, I don't think people realize the Giants are the number one running offense in football. That's like I think when you tell people that, like I even said that to some people yesterday just as we were watching the game, and they're like, really? And I was like, yeah, the Giants are the number one rushing offense in football. Again, they're the five-legged beast. That's what I keep calling them. Saquon, Daniel Jones, Graham Gano's one leg. It's the five-legged beast. You can't beat them. It's Halloween time.
Yeah.
And that's what they are.
It's five-legged beast of the East.
The five-legged beast of the East. The G-Man. Right. So they run the ball. They chew the clock up. And, again, whether it was the going forward on 4th one and messing up, or here was, to me, the play of the game. It's 11-10 Jags.
Okay.
This game, even though it was 23-17, it was back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what did we? We were late in the fourth quarter, right? We only had like one punt in the game. I don't even know if that held true, but I think there was only like one or two punts the whole game. So that kind of just shows you what it was. Both teams had, Jacksonville had 452 yards of offense, so 3 punts total the whole game, and but. So they're 11-10, and ATN busts it up the middle, and you're going, oh, he might score or get down close here, and fumbles. And the Giants recover, and now instead of being down 18, or who knows with Jacksonville, it could have been 17-10, it could have been 18-10, it could have been 19-10. Who knows what they would have done. They might have gone for 2. But either way, that fumble, Giants recover, and then they go down on a long, ugly field goal drive to go up 13-11. I thought that was a big moment of the game where I thought, Jacksonville's kind of got the Giants reeling. They're in a little trouble. I don't know if we can stop them here. And, between that play and Trevor Lawrence, again, good game. But am I crazy to think that, like, he misses 4 or 5 kind of game-changing throws almost every week? Yesterday there was another 2 or 3 plays where you go, man, he's too good to miss this right here. They shouldn't settle for a field goal, and they settled for a field goal because he missed 2, what I would say, like, most quarterbacks in football are going to throw a touchdown pass there. It's just a little inconsistent sometimes with the aggressive throwing down the football field. Those are 2 things that jumped out to me. I'm sorry.
Not too different than what you saw in college from him in his first year and for many games this year. He's had a couple really good games, you pointed out. Right. There's that inconsistency.
There's been those moments of, like, and again, I'm going to pull up their schedule where I just go, even last week, I know we had a few plays like that. Last week it was really a lot of short completions, and he played it pretty close to the vest. The Texans game, the Eagles game before that, there was chances and plays there to be had that he missed, along with yesterday. And again, it's still really good, and I'm not trying to overjudge the guy. He's young. He's still really talented and does a lot of good things there. Yep. But, yeah, there's just a polish in his throwing that's still not quite there that I think would help them, get over the top in some of these close football games.
Yeah, they're off to London now to play the Broncos next week. The Jaguars.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
A couple good defenses, although the Jaguars did make some mistakes on the defensive side. But, yeah, just real quick on the running game.
Yeah, go ahead. Pay it some love.
Daniel Jones, career high 107 rushing yards. He is the best awkward-looking running quarterback, maybe in NFL history.
Right?
He falls down. He makes great plays. He's fast. He's faster than he looks on TV.
Yeah.
But then he'll fall down and be like, well, that guy can't run.
Yeah, right. I know. He did. He had one yesterday where he tripped, didn't he? He did. It wasn't like the 80-yard run against the Eagles where he tripped in the middle and was going to walk in for a touchdown.
But it's like, well, that guy shouldn't run. No, he actually should. He just looks very weird.
He had the one play where he broke it up the sideline, right?
Yes.
Right? And then he kind of went. He got tripped up, and we were all like, I remember because we were like, oh my gosh, if he doesn't trip right there, he might have got another 20 or 30 yards.
Falls on his face. It's like, it's Danny being Danny again.
His straight ahead speed, like you said, it's underrated. It's real.
Way underrated.
It is. He can really kind of take, once he opens up, and here's the other thing too. Daniel Jones, if you saw Daniel Jones in person, you'd go, oh my gosh. So he's a really big dude. I mean, he's a really big dude. He's bigger than me. And I'm a pretty big guy. I'm, 6'5", over 230 pounds. He's definitely bigger than me.
Yeah.
So that's what people don't realize. And then he stands in there. And again, you say what you want. I know the passing game's not overly explosive, but damn, does he make a lot of good throws right now. And again, I know it's almost like his running. It's not sexy. You kind of go, it doesn't look that cool. It's kind of robotic, but man, he hits the bullseye a lot. He really does, and I'm glad. I mean, they're going down the road where Danny Dimes is going to be our quarterback in New York for the next few years, so let's get behind him and get used to it.
And Saquon Barkley, they stuck with him. He had 14 rushes in the first 3 quarters for only 38 yards, less than 3 yards per carry. But then in the fourth quarter, he went off 10 rushes, 72 yards. And when I was watching this game, like, no one will ever be Barry Sanders for me. I mean, like, he's my idol.
Yeah,
like, a guy might be even better than him, and I won't say it.
I don't know if that's possible.
I grew up with Barry Sanders. He will always be the best running back I have ever seen in my life.
I'm right there with you.
Saquon Barkley does some things that remind me of Barry Sanders.
Right. Saquon has the ability to, like, he gets the ball and he hops like 4 times and you're like, wait, he didn't even run and he just hopped like 6 yards and made 4 people miss. And he didn't even run. And then he starts to run. And then you're like, oh, my gosh. Yeah, there is some element there. I'm with you there. And I'm also with you in my lifetime. Nobody's.
No.
I mean, I think Barry Sanders is the best running back I've ever seen in my life. I honestly think probably put Adrian Peterson in his prime as number 2.
Yeah.
And then, we could start going from there. But to me, those are the 2 guys that, they're special. And Saquon has some of those special traits that you're talking about.
Last thing, Eric Real says to you, the Giants will play in the postseason. At this juncture, there are no excuses. The possibility of being 9-1 before the Thanksgiving game. Chris, no more disrespect. Don't ever pick against your blood again.
That's right. Seriously, what a guy I am. What a jerk.
Yeah.
Get me, Eric. I deserve it. You're right. I really do. I picked against them against the Ravens. I thought they'd lose a field goal game. Yeah. I picked against them again last week to lose a field goal game.
No more.
Can you imagine? They got the Seahawks, the Texans, and the Lions with a bye week after this Seahawks game.
Yeah.
They, CBS, that's a CBS game this year. No, that's going to be a Fox game.
Which one?
The 4:30 Thanksgiving game.
Okay.
They're going to break the Thanksgiving Day record. They're going to the ratings machine's going to blow up.
Cowboys and Giants.
If the Giants roll in there at 9-1 and the Cowboys are, 8-2 or 7-3 or something like that, that is going to be as big a Thanksgiving game as we've had in like a long, long time.
And you will finally pick the Giants, and they will lose 30-6.
Seriously, that's how it'll go. This will be the week I take them against the Seahawks, and of course, this will be the week that things fall apart.
Yeah. Speaking of the Cowboys, a preview of that Thanksgiving matchup. They got a win, too, against the Detroit Lions. It was not all that easy in the first half. The Lions actually had the lead, and I was doing some soccer over the weekend, and so I couldn't watch the early part of the games. When I first started watching the Lions and Cowboys, my Lions were up. I was like, oh, this is cool. From that point forward, it was terrible.
Yeah.
It was awful. Great if you're a Cowboys fan, though, as Dak Prescott came back, throwing the ball down the field. He averaged, over 10 yards per attempt by the end of this one. It wasn't high-flying stuff, and it was to the point where, like you mentioned before, if this was a Cooper Rush game, you'd be like, man, they played great, efficiently, awesome. Where if it's Dak Prescott, sometimes you're like, what's going on? What's wrong with the offense here?
Exactly.
Why aren't they clicking on all cylinders like they should be with Dak Prescott?
Right.
But I don't know. The Lions are just so bad, but we should still give credit to the Cowboys, I guess. Chris.
Yeah, well, I think we should. I mean, the Cowboys, again, I don't think they broke from their mold, right? I mean, it wasn't their best football game. The Lions did some good things, I mean, as we know. I mean, what was the game? 6-3 when Jamal Williams fumbled going in the end zone?
6-3 in the third quarter. No, I think they were down.
They were down 10-6.
At that point.
Was it 10-6? It might have been 10-6. You might be right.
Yeah, it was 10-6 at that point, but doesn't matter. Yeah, Lions couldn't get a whole lot going.
Yeah, it just it's a really good defense. We know that. Goff, interceptions, just not enough there. I would have liked to have seen what it would have looked like if you had DeAndre Swift. Because Swift is, to me, like at another level better than anybody else you guys got at the running back position.
Amon-Ra St. Brown went out early.
Exactly. He got hurt early too, right? Yeah. So that hurt them, no doubt. But the Cowboys, I think, kind of just what we talked about. That was the good thing for me, is they didn't really change the way they've been playing throughout this winning streak. And they didn't go, Dak is back to like what you said, and let's throw it 45 times.
Mm-hmm.
No. They played through their defense, again, showed the ability to run the ball again a little bit, play balanced. And kind of just, they wait you out a little bit. And they just go, we're better. We got a few more playmakers. We'll make our plays. You'll make some mistakes. We'll out-hit you. And I feel like that's kind of the way the game went. I feel like I don't have great feel for this game for some reason. And I know because it was so choppy, I think, for so long to where it was like, I don't know what's going on. It's 6-3. I mean, I know, hey, Dallas fumbled on the 3-yard line, right? Noah Brown had a ball, and so you're going, oh, they're about to kind of get going here. They fumbled. You guys fumbled. The interceptions by Goff to start the third quarter. There was just a few things there that I think it's hard. I guess what I'm saying is just it was hard for me to have a total feel.
It was an ugly game against inferior competition for the Cowboys, and they're going to win those games. Like you mentioned, they're going to manage the game, and they're going to win those games. And you have to do that in the NFL. Rack up some wins against teams you're supposed to rack up wins against. The Lions have no touchdowns for the second week in a row. The Patriots shut them out the last time they were playing. Trayvon Diggs, you mentioned it, another interception, 17 career interceptions, now second most all-time through the first 35 games. He'll get beat. He'll also make the big play, although they didn't look at that one afterwards. It might have hit the ground. Some people talked about it. I think Romo on the broadcast talked about it.
I didn't think it.
I agree with you. I think he did catch it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the Lions fumbled on the one, which was terrible. A play after it looked like Brock Wright may have gotten in.
Okay, that's the point where I was yelling at the TV yesterday.
Yeah,
this is the other thing that's bothering me. This went on a few times yesterday, and Pete, maybe you can remember some of them where I went, what are we rushing for?
That didn't make sense.
You're at the 1-yard line. Let's see if you scored. There's no guarantee you're going to score the next play, or the next play after that, or the next play after that. And we saw it. I know in the Bengals game they did it once or twice, and I think things worked out for them. But this, we get to the 1-yard line and, we're going to hurry up to the line of scrimmage because we think you're going to be flustered by this pace of our play here.
Yeah.
And then we're going to try to run the ball real quick. And it's just wait, there was a play before here that it was very close.
I thought he got in.
I think
we didn't really get a great replay look at it, but it seemed like there should have been a challenge there. Pylon Cam Pete says, looked like he was short.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You got that offensive line for the Lions, so they still should have been able to score it there, but that's just Detroit for you. Stuff like that happens, and then later on a Cowboy suplex body slammed a Lion, no call there.
I saw
that's
that.
just the Lions. There's weird things that happen, some self-inflicted, some by the refs, and it all adds up in a 24-6 loss for Detroit, another win
Ahmed.
for the Cowboys. It's going to be a bad year, but we're going to get a quarterback in the draft. I think this is the year where we get a quarterback in the draft. We'll get to that.
I think you're right.
Another day.
Yeah.
Now time for Damn Okay.
Damn. I'm okay. Damn. I'm okay.
Yeah, no, yes.
I'm okay. Illegal gambleizing. Oh, baby. I am Chris Simms. I'm okay. Damn. Okay.
And we'll start off by giving a damn okay to a couple players that played on Sunday Night Football. Dun, 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 dun. Javon Holland from the Miami Dolphins and Noah Igbinoghene.
Whoa. Look at you. Damn, just outshining Tirico.
Yeah, damn okay me.
Yeah, damn okay Ahmed Fareed. Tirico flubbed it a little early in the game. Did you see that?
First time in his career he's ever flubbed
Seriously,
something.
I really was. I wanted to text him and be like, are you all right? What the is going on with you? You didn't say something perfectly.
Yeah.
Because he is the master of that. And, that's a name that, none of us really want to try to,
Once you
say.
practice it enough, though, it's not terrible. It's Igbinoghene. Igbinoghene.
Igbinoghene. Igbinoghene.
Yeah,
okay.
Now you got it.
All right.
You're better than
I messed it
Tirico.
up.
You're better than Tirico now.
That's right.
We got that on you, Mike. A couple interceptions for the Dolphins, who only had one pick coming into the season. That's a surprise
kind of crazy,
for
right?
that secondary.
Right.
Kenny Pickett made it easy on them a couple times, although I did like what Kenny Pickett did. He's a playmaker, but also made some plays for the Dolphins in this one. It was a close game, which was good for us. We always want a close game on Sunday Night Football. A little bit of a messy game, especially in the second half. Dolphins didn't score at all.
Right.
Steelers dropped, 4 interceptions in this game? So it's at times, great to see Tua back, by the way. Loved that. We were all rooting for him to stay healthy on the field. But it was at times where it's which quarterback is going to make it easier for the other team? Didn't it kind of seem like that?
It did. It definitely did. Damn okay. Javon Holland, I love him. I think he's already one of the best safeties in football. Igbinoghene, he's had some issues. He was a first-round pick out of Auburn, but big play and big moment right there last night. I don't know if I necessarily look at those plays and go, oh, wow, what phenomenal defensive plays. I want to go, oh, wow, what the Well, like those were bad mistakes by Kenny Pickett.
I think being there, he was standing in the right spot at the right moment. But you're right. It was like Kenny Pickett. I don't know what he was seeing.
I don't know either.
On that last play.
Yeah, the last play, I think he got a little panicked where he was like, "Wait, I'm going to run," and then I think he did. Like Collinsworth explained, he goes, "I think he realized, oh wait, I have no timeouts here, and if I run and don't get out of bounds, we're gonna have like 12 seconds left by the time we snap the next ball here." So I think he tried to like, oh wait, let me throw it instead of run, and he made a rushed, hasty decision. But that's a little, I mean, how many interceptions did he throw in the Jets game? Was there 2, 3 in that game? Right? I mean, he's not, we all jumped on Mitch Trubisky here, and how dare he not throw bombs more? And now we got a guy that's not protecting the football. And yeah, those were big moments of the game. The interception before that to Javon Holland, it wasn't much better. I mean, it was a 10-yard curl route. He just didn't see Javon Holland. I don't know really what happened there. So. It was amazing that Pittsburgh hung around the way they did in typical Pittsburgh fashion. Of course, Mike McDaniel with a dumb decision, go up 19-10. Why would you? It's 4th and 3 on the 19-yard line.
Yeah,
you're playing Kenny Pickett and the Steelers.
I agree with
that. Was one of the dumber decisions of the night there. But Pickett, like you said, he's got good feel. I'm actually more impressed with his athletic ability more than anything. I will say it's the second week in a row I've kind of gone, and I'm going to sound like a hater here, where I just go, I don't see anything special with Kenny Pickett. I know he can play the position, and he can read defenses, but I thought his arm looked weak last week against Tampa Bay before he got hurt. I thought it looked extremely weak last night too. So that's my only concerns there, just overall with that conversation. But I do give the Steelers a lot of credit for hanging around in there. And then the Dolphins, hey, Tua was a little rusty, like you said. He had some bad decisions and throws that should have been intercepted. Did a great job early on in the football game. They were wheeling and dealing. Had Gesicki drop a touchdown pass. They should have been up by, on one of the drives, they had to kick a field goal. But I will say I have my concerns with him still too. I'm not going to just because they win and 2-9, I'm not going to back off of what I'm seeing in my eyes and what I study. And the fact that, again, once you saw some of the easy completions and tricks taken away, there was nothing else. Okay, so when are we going to make a throw in the pocket to move the ball down the field? It can't always be Mike McDaniel, this guy's that way, this guy's that way, this guy's that way, and I threw a screen, and then I threw a guy wide open over the middle. And even this is another place where stats don't tell the whole picture. Some of those throws he had to the guys over the middle, watch him back. I mean, if he throws them better, the guys should run for significantly more yards, or they should get more out of it. Let alone, I thought there were some other plays there to be had too. But either way, it was a good start for them, good win. It was ugly, and they were lucky to get escape with that one.
They're 4-3 now, are the Miami Dolphins. And I think you make a good point. It's like when the Mike McDaniel stuff gets taken away. I'm not trying to be a hater. And the bad thing is for Tua, he did make a couple of those throws against the Bengals before he got hurt.
Exactly right. He did. He made some. There's some 100%
not great throws in that game, but there were a couple throws where you're like, oh, that's a throw down the middle of the field.
Right.
And that was good.
No doubt.
So we'll see if he can get back there. It was good. He was playing with no fear, and it was weird. I was like, I think a lot of fans watching that are just like cringing every time he's escaping the pocket. I definitely was.
Right.
And it popped into my head, and you'd know better as a player maybe. I was like, I almost wonder if, obviously he went through it and he had to recover from it, but I don't know if he's gone back and watched the replay of it, but it's like we all saw it. We've all seen replays of it. I almost feel like maybe we're more scared for him than he is for himself.
It's usually the way it is. It's usually the way it is. When you're in it, you just keep going, I'm a player. I keep playing. I don't know what else. I love it. This is what I do. I almost died on the field, and I was literally 8 weeks later going, I think I can come back and play the last 2 games. I went to the doctor to go, you think I can come and play the last 2 games even though we're 4-10? Like, do you think I can come? And then he looked at me and he's like, he literally started drawing on, the sheet of paper you sit on the doctor's little thing, whatever. Yeah. He started drawing on there like questions and things and almost died, lost pint of blood. You guys are 4-10, not sure you're totally 100% yet. And he was like, so why? Well, why do you want to come back? And I was like, I don't know, because I want to come back. I want to play. I think I can play. I don't know. So that's the way they're wired. He can't lower his head, though, like he did on those 2 runs. Right. And it sounds like they said something to him on the sideline. because after the game with Melissa Stark, he said like they were on him a little bit. So yeah, hopefully he can learn. But again, those are also the type of things that the team will like that he did that. Players are going to look at our guy. He's a football player, like doing that right there. He doesn't care about his head or whatever.
Yeah.
That'll give him some respect in the locker room for sure.
I think he does have respect to that. It's like I think it's growing.
Yes.
Kind of. And I don't think it was all the injury, but it's like how you respond from that.
Exactly
and I think this has definitely been long run, and now he's a week farther away from that concussion.
Yep.
Hopefully that's better too.
Yeah,
so long run,
that's
this actually
right.
might make Tua stronger.
It could.
And
it
a
could.
better leader for that team. So
right.
Good to see him back out there. Hope he stays out there. Hope he stays healthy. We also want to give a damn okay to another quarterback out there, Joe Burrow.
Oh, the curse has been lifted.
The curse of the Chris Simms high five in the offseason. Now gone.
I did high five Josh Allen too. So there's a challenge flag out there on my curse, all right?
The big play Bengals are back. They beat the Falcons 35-17. Joe Burrow hitting multiple receivers in this one. Now, actually, T. Higgins said that Tyler Boyd was booty butt naked on Burrow's first TD in this game. But I think
booty
we have
butt naked. I love it.
all of Joe Burrow's numbers from Week 7 versus the Falcons here. He goes over 400 yards, almost to 500, 481, which is kind of a disappointment because he had 355 or something like that at halftime.
Yeah, it was three. Yeah, it was something in that range.
600. But the big plays were back, and it was a lot of probably bad Falcons secondary. Not bad, but it's like they got weapons, they got good receivers, and Jamar Chase is doing things that maybe no other receiver can do out there. What'd you make of Burrow's huge game yesterday?
Just watch out. Here they go. Right? They did seem like they protected a little bit better for sure. Chase is special. The Falcons lost A.J. Terrell early on in the football game. Hey, A.J. Terrell is definitely one of the best corners in football, so that hurt them. My biggest thing is this, Ahmed, where I just, I bet you know what I'm going to say a little bit, and just going, why? Why? What? If I played the Bengals, I would just go, I'm not going to play you man-to-man until I really have to. I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to go, run it with Joe Mixon. I keep running it. I don't think you can do anything in that way. Nor did that really seem like it was going yesterday. I don't know really what – I was surprised by Atlanta. It's like Atlanta wanted to take away everything. And I want to be you can't take away everything. You got to pick your what's your thing you're going to take away and go from there. And it's like, no, they were going to take away the go route, the shallow cross, and the run game on every play. And it's like, okay, well, you're not, though. Because they're having a field day here. I just was shocked by some of the looks they got. And as you know, and the one thing I love about Burrow, and that's why he's awesome, and again, why he's definitely one of the 4 best quarterbacks in the game right now, is he's not looking to ever check it down. He is literally like, oh, it's one-on-one with Jamar Chase. Oh, what was the play? I don't care. I'm throwing to Jamar Chase. I mean, he literally says that too. When it's one-on-one, I got to go to him. And that's what he is. He's a freak show. So I guess I was just shocked by that Atlanta's approach and playing that way. They did a good job kind of battling back for a little while where I went, oh, my gosh, we might have a game here. This is crazy. It's total domination. But, then again, they made a few more plays in the pass game and really put their foot on their throat, and that was that.
When Jamar Chase was not just outrunning everyone on the field, he was making the catch close to the sideline and the pylon. I think we have the next-gen dots of that 32-yard touchdown. It apparently had a 19.9% completion probability. It was the most improbable reception of Chase's career, according to next-gen stats. How about that?
It is. I mean, I don't know. Some of these next-gen stats I want to go, I don't know. I see these plays happen every week now, so I don't know why is the probability so low? Maybe we need to raise it up a little bit.
Yeah, do you realize who was throwing and who was catching?
Exactly right. I don't want to go what? This guy, every time he's in this position, catches it. It's almost like 100% catch rate.
Yeah.
But here's the example of what I'm talking about anyways, a little bit. Look at these. Look at this if you're watching on YouTube. It's man-to-man, bump and run on Jamar Chase. And you see the safety. They try to cheat him over there, right?
Yep.
It's a single safety coverage, though, right? So you got the 3 receivers all have man-to-man. The safety just follows Joe Burrow's eyes and tries to get over there in time, but that's just not enough. It's again, Jamar Chase is in the classification of you have to be really careful and you better double him when in doubt. And that's why I think he's right there with the best receivers in the game, in my opinion.
Marcus Mariota and the Falcons only passed 13 times despite trailing most of the game. They're a rushing team, managed the game. That will continue to give other teams a difficult time, I think, but they're probably a little bit below 500 team.
Yeah.
Fair?
Yeah, I think so. Exactly right. Like the game's got to fall the right way for them. And they don't have like a special running back, especially with Cordell Robinson out. You know, they're trying to play like the Giants. They're just a lesser version of the Giants, right? Mariota might be a little faster than Daniel Jones, but not much. But he's not nearly as good a thrower as Daniel Jones, so that hurts. You know, they want to run the ball and have a good all-lines, but they don't got Saquon Barkley. You know, that's the other thing too. Saquon, like you said earlier, they had a few runs in that game yesterday where you go, there really wasn't that big of a hole. He just like did some crazy shit and got a 20-yard run. You know, and so that's where. You know, they're a little – they want to play the right style. I was shocked by the defense approach, like I said. But, yeah, I think they're kind of one of the – like you said it right. They're going to hang around. They might end up 6-11. I don't know. Maybe they go 7-10 or 8-9. Maybe I'm wrong. But I don't think it's, like, anything better than that.
Play through the run. That's what the Baltimore Ravens have been doing the past few years. They've made some big plays through the air, and they won. They managed the game against a team that you have criticized multiple times for not managing games. Ravens over the Browns 23-20. The damn okay. We're going to give that to Gus Edwards. 16 rushes. He went for 66 yards, 2 touchdowns, his first game back since tearing his ACL in the preseason last year. A weapon in the running game, something that they really do need to get going this year.
They need him. They do. You know, especially now with J.K. Dobbins back hurt again a little bit and going to be out for the next few weeks. Edwards is a sledgehammer, you know, who has better speed than your normal everyday sledgehammer type. You know, for the second week in a row, I'm a little underwhelmed. I think we're seeing teams kind of maybe catch up to the Ravens' pass offense a little bit, right? And this is always a thing here with the Ravens. This is why their run game has to get going because it has to help they're not built to throw the ball 40 and 45 times a game. That's not who they are. So, you know, that's where they got to get this going. But I think it's like, you know, the other thing I'll say here is special teams, defense, those were positives. Running the ball, again, were positives. It's not great. The Ravens are, you know, I'll put you up. I put my hand up. I misvalued them. I think I thought they were going to be better or had a little more talent than I you know, or am I saying that right? I thought they were going to have more talent than I thought, or give them credit for. I don't know what I'm trying to say there.
To answer your question,
lesser talent.
To answer your question, no, you're not saying.
Yeah,
that,
I know
right?
I'm not saying it right. I was like, wait, it's not coming out of my mouth right.
They don't have as much talent.
I overrated their talent.
Yes,
and that's where I wanted to get to. Exactly. Woo! It's a Monday morning.
If this pod is a little longer than most, that was the reason right there. That took us way too long to figure that out.
But offense was struggle. Duvernay has the great. What was that? The punt return, right? That set him up for a short field.
What a playmaker,
right? He makes some plays. You know, the strip sack fumble by Calais Campbell with the Browns backed up a little bit. Mm-hmm. You know, and then of course Justin Tucker and his ability to kick long field goals and do all that. Like, you know, again, it wasn't pretty, but I don't know. Like, the Ravens aren't like that much more talented than the Browns. They're not.
I don't know that they're that much better.
I don't know either.
The Browns outgained them in this game 336-254. Browns made some plays late. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah knocking the ball out of Justice Hill's arms at the end there.
That was big.
Jacoby Brissett, the long completion to Donovan Peoples-Jones. Is like, is the comeback going to happen here?
The shocking moment too there where you're just going, wait, how do you let that happen if you're the Baltimore Ravens? In that moment.
Like, here we go again.
Just brain farts there.
Lead.
You know, and honestly, you know, Brissett, the passing game, they kind of carried the Browns early on in the football game. It wasn't until later in the game, until the run game started to pop a little bit for Cleveland, and they started to take over in that department.
It was funny on Red Zone. It was like this game was getting good at the end while Aaron Rodgers was trying to come back against Washington. This game was later than that game in Washington.
Right.
And it was like the difference between watching Jacoby Brissett, like they're taking some chances down the field. He's moving outside the pocket. He actually looked pretty good down the stretch in this game.
Right.
And it was like Aaron Rodgers, just those 2-3 yard attempts.
Just all the same throws.
It was like, man, if you were to just ask a normal person, like, which quarterback looks better to you, it was like Jacoby Brissett. Looked like they may have had the game-winning touchdown. Amari Cooper pushed off.
Yep.
I think that was a good call.
I do too.
You question the false start on the 55-yard field goal.
I just don't get it. I didn't see it. I honestly feel like this is where the coach and like some veteran players came into play for the Ravens. Harbaugh Calais Campbell, a bunch of. It's like as soon as the penalty was called, they started going like, "No, it was them. It was them." And they called a false start on who was it? 66, I believe, 68. And you watch the replay. I don't know. I didn't see it. I didn't feel like. Yeah. I don't feel like any of the announcers really saw it either. So I think they dodged a bullet there for sure.
Michael Dunn.
Did
you move? Text us in to the pod, and we'll talk about it Wednesday.
I want to look again just to go, maybe they just called the wrong number. Was there another guy that we're missing that moved? But, yeah, that looked like the Ravens got a little lucky on that one.
Malik Harrison, credit to him. He blocked the kick. Who knows? Maybe Cade York would have had enough leg on it either way, but missed it. So Ravens hold on to win 23-20, the final score.
What do you think about the Ravens? What's your thought?
Yeah, I think they're not much better, if at all, than the Browns, and I think they're about like you just said with the Atlanta Falcons. They're better than them, but not by much.
Not by much. You think they're like a
team? 10-7?
Yeah, you think you're 10-7, 9-8 type of football team. Like if you had to sit here right now, you're going to take the Bengals to win the division there?
The funny thing is you look at the NFL, you're like, who's good? Who's good? But I would take the Bengals over the Ravens.
I would too,
It's just like the defense is concerning. It's like if you're going to give up big plays to every team out there, it's like you're going to give up big plays to the Bengals, so who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know. They could turn things around still. The Jets have turned things around from what they have been the last, 2 decades.
Right.
And they are winning games at a crazy pace. They've won again. They beat the Broncos, a very good defense. 16-9 was the final score. We're going to give the damn okay to Breece Hall.
Oh, I know.
It sucks so bad. So I don't know if we have the official word yet. Maybe it's out there by now.
It doesn't look good.
Seemed like a ligament tear. That's what Robert Saleh was indicating after this one. But he was awesome in the run that he broke. We have the next-gen dots for Breece Hall, 62-yard touchdown. Hit a top speed on this one, at 21.87 miles per hour. It was the fastest reached by a ball carrier this season. Kenneth Walker actually broke it a little bit later in the day.
Right.
But, man, oh, man, he was a weapon on offense. Looks like he's done for the year now, but which is a total bummer because that's an offense and a defense. This is a fun team, and it sucks that Breece Hall's not going to be a part of it.
Yeah, he's a playmaker. The Jets are one of those teams where, like, again, almost like the Falcons or the Giants that we talk about, they're just going to hang around and they just go, one of our guys will make a play. And they honestly have more playmakers than the Giants or the Falcons do, where they can go, oh, wait, somebody's going to do something here. And, he certainly was, I think, the guy you classify as, like, enemy number one of the state to make a play for the Jets in a big moment. We saw that last week against Green Bay. Yeah, it stinks. Again, there's not a lot of guys in football where you can just give a toss sweep to and go, well, he's gone for 70. See ya.
Yeah.
Like, that's not easy, to replace. Michael Carter, I really like him. There you go. You see it. I mean, the speed to kind of crease it was the special thing there.
Yeah.
He's a freak of nature. He really is. He's awesome in the pass game. He's a home run hitter in the run game. And, I wish he maybe ran with a little bit more aggression. That would still be my only negative about him. But, yeah, that's going to hurt them. It is.
Michael Carter had a good year last year.
He's a good player.
He's a good player.
He is. He's gonna. Their offense will be, still fine without Breece Hall. But it's just this you're gonna miss. Like Michael Carter, I don't think can go down the sideline for a 70-yard touchdown quite the same style Breece Hall can.
Probably not. Zach Wilson won. His team won. But we have a question here.
Yeah.
From Jack.
I hope this. I'm glad because I'm about to go in this direction no matter what. So go
Zach
ahead.
Wilson has been shaky. Considering the ascension of other players around him, at what point do you start to worry about the quarterback position holding this team back, especially now that Breece Hall is injured?
The Jets fans have a disease. They have They don't even want to be good. I'm listening to WFAN on the way in. You would think the Jets lost and Zach Wilson threw 7 interceptions. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable up here. I go to the gym, as you know. There's mainly Jet fans there. They can't even be positive that they're 4-2 last week. They're like, I don't know, Zach didn't throw for 300. We didn't get Elijah Moore the ball. That's all they could talk about. Who the cares? You guys haven't won games in 2 decades, and now you're going to worry about every little stupid thing in the world. Zach Wilson did fine yesterday. He did fine. It wasn't like they were missing wide open people. Denver's been doing this to everybody that comes to Denver. Jets fans, come on. Get a clue. What's going on here? Like, what the are you thinking or doing? You won a game. You're 5-2. They're looking for anything to pick apart their team. I've never seen anything like it. I literally wanted to start off the pod because I was driving here today on the fan going, do I have to look at the game again? Did they lose? Wait, did Zach Wilson not escape out of like 7 sacks yesterday and throw the ball away? And keep them in manageable situations? I mean, he made some magical escapes yesterday where I went, whoa, that was unbelievable. He had no pass protection. I mean, to me, I'm looking at it going, a young quarterback like Zach Wilson usually would have thrown 3 interceptions in a game like that. Same with last week in Green Bay. He outplayed Aaron Rodgers last week in Green Bay, but we're still going to talk about Zach Wilson. It's not good enough. I mean, he made the biggest play, the biggest throw in the game last week. An on-the-run, out-and-up, 45-yard dime down the sideline to Corey Davis. But we're going to talk about Elijah Moore and that shit. The Jets fans are frustrating me right now. You're 5-2. You're playing the way you're supposed to. I didn't watch that game yesterday, and I got to see it pretty good. There wasn't many games on at 4 o'clock where I didn't come away going, man, Zach's missing people. They're wide open everywhere. Man, they should have thrown for 300 today. Come on. That is an awesome defense. In fact, if that offense was better in Denver, it would probably be the number 1 defense in football. I mean, really. So
they had more time on the sideline to rest. And
right. So, yeah, I don't understand it. So, sorry, you got my rant there?
I loved it.
Yeah.
Jets fans are worried that he's Tim Tebow, though. The Jets are the first team since 2011, the Tim Tebow-led Broncos, to win consecutive games with 105 or less net passing yards.
Yeah.
And so they fear that they've got the next Tim Tebow.
I think he could throw better with his left arm than Tim Tebow can. So,
but it's funny you mentioned that, though, because living out on the West Coast for 6 years, like I did, you see the difference in how the fan consumes the game. Where I do feel like on the East Coast, when the teams are bad, there's almost more passion and there's more fervor. And so maybe Jets fans don't know how to act or consume the sport when the team is good because it's like they get fired up when things are bad.
I literally have said to some grown men who are in their 50s last week, would you just be happy and enjoy that you're 4-2?
We're on the West Coast, not that it's any better, because when the teams are bad, people just don't care. It's just they don't watch. They tune out and they move on to other things, which is probably healthier in life.
I can go to the beach and I'll do this.
But it's not great for us when people just don't care. But that's not the case on the East Coast. So maybe it's just used to feeling that anger that they gotta recultivate it even in winning environments. Now, speaking of the West Coast, good transition, Pete, in my ear, the Seattle Seahawks and Kenneth Walker and Geno Smith, they got the win over the Chargers. Our damn okay does go to Kenneth Walker. 23 rushes, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he had another next-gen dots-worthy play, the 74-yard touchdown. As we mentioned just moments ago, he reached a top speed of 22.09 miles per hour, the fastest speed reached by a ball carrier this season. Question for you. When we go into next year, Chris, Kenneth Walker will be the blank-ranked running back in our top 5.
1 or 2.
Wow. 1 or 2.
I see Kenneth Walker. I don't see anything that's a negative about his game. I think he's every bit as again, tell me who's clearly better than him. I know it's only been 3-4 games or whatever, but I think we've seen enough here. Saints game, Arizona last week. He had 90-something yards, and I'm not joking. He shouldn't have had that. If he's not crazy gifted, he had nowhere to run anyway, at any point in that game. And then yesterday, I just what? I mean, first off, he's built like a shit brick house, a brick shit house. Okay, sorry, a shit brick house would be really not that stable.
I don't think either. I feel like neither one is really computing in my head right now.
I don't know. Well, there is the brick shit house,
is
right?
It?
Yeah, there's a real thing, like brick shit house, right? It's
Pete, is that
sturdy
a real thing?
And yes, it is.
Yeah, he's Googling it. What is it? Is where you go to the bathroom?
Well, yeah, it used to be it's a sturdy thing. Brick shit house, right.
Yeah. Pete Googled it, and IT
got fired.
Is coming down to take away his computer.
HR got him. But he's got incredible power. He's got quickness that I would go, maybe Saquon's the only guy that can break ankles more than this guy right here. And then that speed, I mean, again, he's special. like I said, he to me is in the classification of Nick Chubb, Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, who is not having a great year and still, coming back from his little injury there.
Yeah.
So I think this is a special football play. That was a big win. Big win. Pete Carroll, can't say enough about him. Geno, can't say enough about him. They're fun to watch. They're like that, like an NBA League Pass team, right, where you just go, like, yeah, I'm going to watch this game. I don't really care about this team, but they're fun to watch. Like, they're going to score 130 and shoot a lot of threes and dunk on people. That's the Seahawks to me. And then Pete's running around the sideline. I mean, just the energy they had on the field compared to the Chargers, I thought that was tangible. And they have more creativity on the offensive side of the ball, explosiveness, all of that. So, yeah, that was a big win for the Seahawks. I was really impressed. I really was. Seahawks, I think, are here to stay. I do. I think the Seahawks are here to stay.
I think so too.
Yeah, it's not. I don't go. Oh, this is. They're not to say. I don't think they're going to win the NFC West, but I think they're going to be in this playoff conversation for real throughout. Their defense, even though it's not great, it plays hard, and at least compared to the last 2 years, we're not seeing like just for lack of a better way, dumb stuff happen where you just go, wait, nobody's covering this guy or this guy. Whoa, like we have nobody in this gap in the run play, and he just ran for 60 yards down the sideline. So they might not be dominant, but they're not messing up or doing dumb crap. And then you couple that with, I don't know, is it arguably the most explosive offense in football right now? I think it is. I think you throw that into that. And then you throw in Pete's magic of like, I'm 71 and yet I can still run 4.9. It's they got some good things going there.
Well, it's like having Pete too and a defensive-minded coach probably helps because they'll figure some stuff out. They'll figure how they're playing and where they're best and how to manipulate some of those parts and become better as the season goes on. But, yeah, you called it with Geno, and he's been very good, and he's been one of the best quarterbacks to watch out there and operating in this offense. I do think for the Chargers, it's like Brandon Staley is probably on the hot seat.
I think so.
Because there are a lot of expectations. But in his defense, you look at the players who are either out
they
or
got a lot of
been
banged
hurt.
up people.
I mean, it's boring, but it's true. It's Joey Bosa, Mike Williams late in this game. Keenan Allen has been out. Rashawn Slater out.
I know.
J.C. Jackson now it looks like he's out
he's
maybe for the rest of the year. That
Yeah.
sucks. Jalen Guyton's been out. Joshua Palmer and Herbert playing with rib cartilage that's all jacked up. Of course, right? I mean, they're not 100. They're not the team that we thought they would be.
No, you're right. They're not. It's not the final. They're the product we thought that was going to be out there on the field on a consistent basis. But I also think Staley's not helping himself either. Again, Iriga early in the game, they go down the field. They're in field goal position to start the game. Just go up 3-0 and kick a field goal. They go for it on fourth down. They don't get it. All right. And that was after the Geno interception. So Geno threw an interception. Now they have the ball. And hey, positive vibes. Instead, they go for it. They don't get it. Guess what? Geno and company go right down and score a touchdown.
Well, you're not going to beat Geno Smith kicking field goals. We know that. We've established this at this point.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. But, that, and I give them credit, too, where the Seahawks, they were up 17-0. Chargers put a drive together. It's 17-7. And then they do a little trick play where they put Dwayne Eskridge at tailback, and they're going to toss him the ball, and he just drops the toss, and Khalil Mack comes in and recovers the ball. So now you go, wait, we've kind of dominated this game, and holy shit, it's 17-14. But they have no problem, just kind of like, okay, that's a game again. And they kind of reaccelerate and pulled away once again. And they can do it, not only with big plays, but Geno's showing he can be kind of surgical and patient in the pass game too. It's not just like a one-trick pony that way. So I enjoy watching them, I said. And then my other thing too, to your injury thing with the Charger thing, it's just again, and I know they're banged up. They got to find some ways to stretch the field and with the Chargers. It's too much West Coast basics. They got all the right plays, like you've heard me say. I know Lombardi. He's from. Joe Lombardi from the Saints. He's got all the basics that you need to have a successful offense. He's missing what I would call, and I said this to Jason Garrett last night. I'm not sure I said it, but he's missing the 3 or 4 plays every game.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I said that last week, but just a few plays where I go, oh, I saw this team do this to this team, or I saw this in another offense I was studying during the week. I'm going to steal it from them and put it in our offense. That's where they got to find some ways to manipulate some some explosive plays. It can't always be Herbert making the perfect decision and perfect throw.
Or Eckler making something happen.
Or that
short.
too.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Well, that's the problem with the stat line. When he's leading your team in receiving and up there week after week after week, that's not a good thing to me when you have Justin Herbert at quarterback. That's not. You're missing an element of your offense that you could be stressing defenses out and helping your offense out with, and that to me is they got to find a way to attack down the field a little bit more.
Could be more difficult depending on the health of Mike Williams. I was just looking up DK Metcalf. Pete Carroll says good report this morning. Does not need surgery. He hurt his patellar tendon.
Wow. So it's the same. I mean, that's it didn't look bad on the field.
You seem to be like, I'm all right, all right. But then it was immediately ruled out.
They need to maybe check the turf with L.A. Because, first off, J.C. Jackson's knee looked just like Odell's did. Yeah. I'm just running, and my leg got caught in the seams of the turf. And his kneecap got dislocated, which is, again, right there by the patella tendon, which is, again, similar to what DK Metcalf had. I don't know. Those are things I think about. And, again, I'm still in amazement that in the NFL, with all this money we invest in the players, that we don't play on grass fields. It's, to me, crazy.
All right, time now for our final two games. For that, we're going into the newsroom. That's it. Yeah, we've been going for a while here.
Oh, okay.
We're on 3 hours right now. Give me the headlines presented by Hyundai. We'll start. You were talking about the Seahawks. They don't kick field goals. They score touchdowns. Well, we got a game of some field goals. Titans versus the Colts. Titans won 19-10. Your headline for this was?
Moo. Out to pasture.
Oh.
Do you get it?
Is that was
moo.
that a cow?
Yeah, moo is usually a cow, Pete. Yeah, Pete's asking.
Okay, so but the
Colts,
that's
right, it's horse. That's right. That's right. I'm an idiot.
The Titans did not beat the cows; they beat the Colts, and the horse is going out to pasture. Its thoroughbred racing career is done. It's been a long couple days for you,
Apparently.
It's showing at the end of the pod. Out to pasture, though. Wait, are you saying that the Colts are done? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying. I'm saying they're
old and washed up.
They're putting the old horse in the middle of nowhere to survive by himself a little too much, and that's in Matt Ryan.
He needs younger horses around him.
Well, he needs some help. I mean, it just can't. I mean, is that where we're going to be? I mean, like Matt Ryan, at this point of his career, we're just going to go, hey, man, you got to drop back every play and make it happen for us all the time, all game long. It's just too much to ask. That's I think what bothers me about them. The Tennessee Titans, they did what they always do, right? I mean, run the ball. Tannehill hit a few throws. They're just okay, good. And then they just try to play like mistake-free football. And here they are sitting at 4-2. Just, an ugly 4-2. It really is. It's an ugly 4-2.
It's an ugly 4-2.
Yeah.
But that's a credit to Mike Vrabel.
It's the way he does. And they're just going to continue to get better, and they'll continue to find a guy to infuse into this passing offense. They need Treylon Burks to get back. They do miss a guy, right? They really do. But, again, that. And then they played a team where this is where I do like the Titans. The Titans are creative in the back end. So this is a good matchup, and then they didn't have to worry about overdoing it to stop the run game, and that allows them to be creative in the back end. And we saw 2 straight drives. Some bad interceptions by Matt Ryan. And, of course, like we talked about with Rodgers and Brady being jittery, Ryan's not jittery. Ryan is tough and hangs in there and makes some of the damnedest ugly throws you'll ever see where you're like, whoa, that was a 10-yard out route and that ball was in the air for 5 seconds. But he put it in exactly the right place, and they caught it. But they're just, to me, asking too much of him. And then they don't protect that well. And, he's going to make mistakes. That pick 6 was bad. 1, it didn't even look like Paris Campbell was expecting the ball. 2, it was a bad read. It was double covered. There was 2 guys there. The next one, the little ball over the middle, was another bad one as well. And had some people around him. But, that's where the Colts, they're 3-3-1, but it's a struggle 3-3-1. And then there's Tennessee. It's 4-2. I don't know. Nothing's easy for them either, but I feel kind of somewhat I've seen them go down this road before. Yeah, they're going to get better.
Get in ugly and then see what happens once they get into the playoffs.
Game plan, a great defensive game plan for a game, and they're going to run the ball and chew up the clock, and that's where they're tough. But they do need a little bit more to help them out other than Derrick Henry They need some other element on their offense, and that's what they're really missing on that side of the ball.
Yeah, you mentioned Andrew Adams signed off of the Steelers practice squad in Week 3. He had 10 tackles. He had that pick 6. It was the only Titans touchdown of the game. Aaron Kreppel wants to give a damn okay to the Titans defensive line. He goes, consistently put pressure on Matt Ryan, caused the 2 picks. Jeffrey Simmons, Bud Dupree, Danico Autry seemed to have the right combo of speed and power, changed the game.
Yes, they are game changers, and my guy Rashad Weaver, I think he always pops a little bit. And then, I always sit with them. I just think, man, what would they look like if Harold Landry was healthy? I mean, because that's another thing. We know they lost A.J. Brown, but the fact that they lost one of the better pass rushers right before the start of the season, and then it was a year without A.J. Brown where they're going to, man, we need our defense to be a little more dominant than normal. That was a big loss for them. But, yeah, they're getting it going, and they are one of those teams that, yeah, it's ugly 4-2, but I don't know. I got confidence in them to kind of continue on the right track and trend upwards.
Bud Dupree, he recorded 8 pressures and 6 quarterback hits in the game. Bud Dupree had a great game.
Well, this is what I'm talking about. Like, it's just Matt Ryan. Look, think about these numbers we throw out there every week about him under pressure, getting hit.
I was like, I'm too old for this stuff.
I mean, he's got to be sitting there sore as hell, but it's just – It's a lot. It's a lot to ask of him at this point of his career.
You see when he was under pressure, he had some trouble, a couple interceptions there, but he was under pressure quite a bit. The Colts, one last thing, as you mentioned, it's still not easy for the Titans. And Derrick Henry, they did ride him.
They did.
They tried to pack the box against him versus 7 or more men in the box. He had 29 rushes, 126 yards, but that was also with the Colts defense that did not have Kwity Paye, did not have Shaquille Leonard.
Yes,
so it's going to be tough for the Titans. It's going to be tough for them, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's going to have to play through their defense.
Ugly wins.
Efficient, run the ball, chew the clock. That's who the Titans are going to be.
Totally opposite type of game in Las Vegas. A lot of offense in this game. Raiders beat the Texans 38-20. Your headline for this one is
Ride the Hot Hand. Woo! We're in Vegas, baby. Viva Las Vegas.
And they got hot, and they rode the hot hand of Josh Jacobs, who ended with 143 rushing yards. We got a damn okay. Anthony Rufo said Josh Jacobs, we thought might get traded. 3 games of at least 143 rushing yards. Looks like a dark horse offensive player of the year candidate. Well, that's a pretty good point. He had 3 touchdowns all in the second half of this game.
He's playing awesome. There was just a point in the second quarter of the football game where the Raiders scored right before the half. Carr threw an unbelievable throw down the middle. Hollins made a really tough contested catch and came up with the touchdown to make the game 10-10. And it's like the Raiders became unstoppable from that point on. You couldn't stop. No matter what they wanted to do, they did it. Carr was efficient and smart and got things going. But the run game, and I think, hey, they're getting used to the Josh McDaniels style of offense and play too. I think that's the other thing too. Again, they're a team that's with Gruden for years. It's more West Coasty. It's more inside-outside zone running. Here they're pulling guards, smash mouth football that way. And Jacobs, as we're seeing, is a pretty special back. I mean, he's got tremendous power. He can really weave through traffic, breaks a lot of arm tackles. And, not that he's like a 70-yard touchdown type of runner, but a lot of good 10 and 15. Whoa, that was explosive how he kind of exploded to the hole and got to the second level. That's where he's really good. The Raiders are not out of this. The Raiders are one of these teams where I look at to go, yeah, they're 2-4.
Yeah.
But the way their schedule shakes up and then the way they're playing as a team, again, they don't have a lot of stars, but I think their offense is kind of finding their way, and their defense is really well coached to where I wouldn't be shocked if we're sitting here a month from now just going, Raiders, they're in the playoff conversation here.
I agree.
Don't count them out.
I think it could even be more than that for the Raiders, and I think the questions are on defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
Max Crosby, though, has been very good. They have gotten some good play out of their secondary. Hobbs has played well. I think I don't know if he's back. He was hurt or dinged up or something like that. But I think if they can kind of make some strides defensively, I think they do have enough offensive star power.
Yeah, I think
Jacobs
so too.
And Carr and Devontae Adams and Hunter Renfrow, who hasn't really gotten going.
Right.
Mac Hollins.
Yeah, Hollins. Yeah, you're right.
I think
they're close.
They're like a dark horse team that by the end of the year, for me, we could be saying like they're one of the top 6 or 7 teams in football.
I don't think you're crazy by saying that. I don't. And again, even some of the losses early on in the year. I mean, again, just think of how close they were. And we came away. I came away in a few of them. The Arizona game, week 1 against the Chargers. Of course, Kansas City. They went toe to toe with them. Where but in some of those games where I go, Derek Carr. He left some plays on the field. He was on the number 1 read too long a few times, and he's getting used to it. It's a different. Trust me, this is some learning curve. I bet he's had to go through this year. He'll probably let everybody know after the year when he gets to talk about it a little bit, and especially if they're successful and he can really expand on it. Excuse me. But yeah, good gritty win by them. The Texans did some good things too. I don't want to Davis Mills. He made some plays. Had the interception he threw. At what point of the game was that? I remember thinking that was a pretty big point in the game because it was still in the balance, and I feel like that was I want to say it was 24
for 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. You got to bring up.
Well, it was just a big moment to where I was going. The game, it was 31-20. Okay, I thought it was 24-20 when he threw the pick 6 to Duron Harmon, but I was wrong there. Okay, but yeah, that game got a little bit back and forth for a little bit. And Damian Pierce was running the ball well and everything there. It kind of got fun to watch in the 3rd and 4th quarter, and the Raiders just kept the gas or pedal on the gas and pulled away.
And that was Give Me the Headlines presented by Hyundai.
That's all right. We've had better. Pete finally pressed the button to play the graphic there.
Yep.
Good job, Pete.
Whenever a graphic does not roll properly, it was all on Pete.
It was all on Pete.
And whenever there's a saying that does not come out clearly, it's either you or me, which has happened quite a bit. Final thing here, let's get out of this one. I think we are going on 2 hours now. BetMGM parlay preview, Monday Night Football, Bears at Patriots. Chris, on the Thursday pod, you said all Patriots. I even feel like you made it your best bet, right?
I did make it my best bet, but that means run the other way with me. They don't want to listen to me.
They're favored by 8 over the Bears.
I can't pick best bets right now. I'm really.
Well, no one can. I mean, no one thought Carolina was going to win.
I used to be really gifted at this.
You're worse than most, but I think everyone's had a bad year.
Thank you for that pick me up. Thank you very much. Yeah, I used to be really gifted at this. I used to be the guy that my friends who are rich would be like, what's your game this week? Mom, we're going with that.
Have they just stopped calling
They
you now?
have. One of them said, I quit. He left me a text message last night while I was on the pregame show. He said, I quit you weeks ago. And I was like, you should.
Yeah.
You definitely should. I don't know what. I have to evaluate myself a little bit with these picks, and I'll get to the Bet MGM parlay preview here in a second. But I got to evaluate it. I'm great with some of my prop bets and things like that I've done for Thursday Night Football. I mean, Pete would, I think, tell you I've done a pretty good job with some of those. But some of these games, I think what I have to do, Ahmed, is we spend today, tomorrow, Wednesday. All I do is look back. I gotta start infusing look forward earlier in my week because I'm all we're worried about is breaking down this past game, breaking down the past game, and then it's like, okay, man, I just did the longest breakdown podcast in the history of football. Now tell me who's gonna win tomorrow.
Yeah,
and I'm like. And I'm like, what's going on? And I gotta reevaluate.
Oh, maybe we gotta help you pick better. Pete just in my ear said, "What the f will happen Wednesday?"
Ooh, maybe that's what I need to. Maybe we need to infuse that a little bit into the pod.
Maybe we do that a little bit. Maybe we do that. Although I feel like looking back does help inform your decisions moving forward.
It gives me a great help as far as the overall team sometimes. And that's where I try to tell I have a great feel for the overall team, but sometimes I don't get to enough of the specifics of the matchup that are going to make the difference. Or there's just a few things where I'll be sitting there, on a Saturday watching an NFL show going, damn, I wish I would have thought about that when I was picking the game the other day. Gosh, that's going to be You're
like, I do like Carolina over Tampa.
Well, that definitely wasn't one of them. There's not. But as far as this game tonight, defense. I think the Patriots are going to play this close to the vest. They're going to expect their defense to smother Chicago, and they're going to run the ball and just wait like we've kind of seen to go, wait, is Chicago stopping the run? Oh, they are? They're just loading up? Okay, we'll unveil it from there. But I think this is one that's kind of close and ugly early on, and slowly but surely the Patriots wear them down. There's just not enough on the Bears offense for me to sit here and think, oh, they're going to consistently move the ball. Yeah, they run the ball, but we know their pass game's simple. I don't think they totally trust Justin Fields that way. And I have a hard time thinking that, the Patriots and that defensive staff won't have a good game plan for this offense.
A couple of the props that you say you've done well on. Bears over-under is 13.5 points. Justin Fields over-under for passing yards is 159.5.
Jeez.
Did they go under on both of those?
I mean, those are phenomenal. I mean, the fact that we're even picking 159 yards for a pass, that just tells you about the struggles of him and the offense in general. I mean, I picked it 24-13, so I guess I like the under a little bit here. You know, again, I didn't know what the but yeah, I'm gonna go the under slightly. You know, one thing I do feel good about is I of course feel like the Patriots will cover here. And I wouldn't be shocked to see this be a 30-13 type of football game. You know, something along those lines. Justin Fields, 159.5. It's a low number. I'm going to say he goes over, but barely. You know, this is where I look at it, and maybe I'm wrong to think about it. I just look at it and go, he isn't afraid. He throws a pretty nice deep ball. He's not afraid to chuck it loose on that. And I do think that the Patriots will give him some chances one-on-one to maybe make a few throws down the field.
He's gone over 159 the last 3 games after not doing it the first 3 games. Right. So we will see tonight. The action never stops at BetMGM. Sign up now using the bonus code SIMS. Your first wager is risk-free up to $1,000.
Say you bet $100 on the Bears to pull off the upset.
I would
Ahmed.
never do that.
No, okay. I wouldn't either. That's the dumbest $100 you ever did in your life. If you win, you'll get $310. But if you lose, you still get $100 worth of free bets, Ahmed.
I just don't like the Bears. So even if it were likely to happen, I still
wouldn't do it. Okay.
Simply download the BetMGM app today or go to betmgm.com, enter the bonus code SIMS to make your first wager risk-free up to $1,000. And that is it. 3 hours and 17 minutes. And we even had, 2 fewer games?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Right.
140 every time.
Right. It's your fault.
It might be my fault a couple of times.
You led me down a road.
Well, no. You know what happened? Right. It was when you were doing the 49ers things and, you were saying all the different ways they can beat a team.
Oh, yeah,
that
right.
was 17 minutes.
It wasn't when I mooed instead of neighed?
It all added up. Yeah, Kristen's playing the music already.
All right, we're out of here. Peace out, everybody. You know what it is. It's Wednesday. We'll be back for What the F Happened podcast, a.k.a. the Treasure Hunters. Ahmed Fareed, thank you again for leading the charge. So nice to enjoy our Mondays together.
Yes.
Good morning, and we'll see you later. Clap it up.
Clap it up.
Thanks for watching, homies. Hit subscribe to see all my unbuttoned videos. You get to see me, Ahmed Fareed, all the big player breakdowns, game breakdowns, player interviews, and my film analysis. So please subscribe. Chris Simms Unbuttoned. Peace out.